Around about the time of my bar mitzvah, I was seriously trying to find where God is. And as I got into my high school education with some very brilliant teachers challenging me with atheistic positions, I really ran away from my whole Torah background, particularly as I got through adolescence and my gut desires, the desires of the flesh, the desires for love and for relationship got stronger and stronger until I, to be very honest with you, just saw Torah as a huge limitation on enjoying your one chance in this life to have a good time. So I really devoted myself assiduously to having a good time from the age of 15 until the age of 25, when I realized with tremendous bitterness and gloom and depression that my life seemed totally futile. It was full of frustration, that every relationship I'd ever tried to have with anybody had always ended in separation, bitterness, and all kinds of pain. And it was really with my back against the wall that I discovered something called meditation. And meditation was my first ever opportunity to just sit instead of trying to do and get more pleasure and more excitement, more stimulation, just to sit and allow the thoughts and the feelings to come. And I had the great blessing that God enabled me to make a connection between the meditation I started practicing and Jewish prayer and blessings. And it suddenly hit me that these were not just an empty formula, but these were a way of bringing a little chink of God into each different moment before you eat something, when you get up in the morning, when you go to sleep at night. Each blessing was a little chink of meditation and connection. And after I found myself my back against the wall, I came to the conclusion I've got to take myself to pieces and put myself back together again. And I've discovered that the only thing that makes my life not futile is attaching myself to something higher. If I were asked to come up with something totally original that was my own, a work of art, a business project, some building, I couldn't do it. But when I'm invited to attach myself to something that is so above and beyond, that it goes beyond our generation and beyond even our world, when I awaken to the greatness of this, I say, I'm going to drop my selfish ambitions to make my mark in the world and actually join something that has been going for thousands of years and will continue going and getting higher and higher. But to me, being Jewish is a huge privilege. When I was a kid, I thought it was something to be ashamed about. I hated the ghetto Jew, the guy who was cringing and shabby. But when I go back to the prophets and the heroes, the founding fathers, and see that these were people who were devoted to the higher cause of going to mankind and humanity and spreading enlightenment, spreading goodness, spreading kindness, I realized that Judaism is the most wonderful inheritance that puts me in touch with this higher principle. So that's what Judaism means to me.